Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we're going to take a final segment on the happenings that happened in NDDC. So youths under the aegis of Cross River Youth Alliance stormed major streets in the city bearing placards with various inscriptions to reject the appointment of Asu Okang, a former commissioner for information in the state, as a representative in the NDDC board. They had assembled at the 7-Eleven field along the Murtala Mohammed Highway, and they expressed their displeasure over the appointment of Okang, saying it was an error. You can watch the video.
We are here to express our displeasure over what is happening in Cross River State. My name is Dr. Edemebon. I am the chairman of all APC support groups in Cross River State. I woke up this morning, I saw a message that stirred my system, that engendered my running stomach. And I received series of calls from people asking me, are you aware of what is happening? I said, yes. I have just read this obnoxious piece that have been published from the presidency. It is abnormal. It is aberration. It is quite unethical for monkey to walk and baboon eats. We suffered for APC in Cross River State. Under rain, under sun. PDP fought us. But to our greatest surprise, a staunch PDP man who fought us to a standstill was given a juicy appointment, the appointment that is capable of taking care of over 10,000 APC youths in Cross River State. And I don't think the president, His Excellency Bola Tinubu.
Thanks for staying with us. So two key things we heard from that video. First of all, the selected representative, Okang, is from Etung, which has been far removed from the oil-producing area, which is Bakassi in the Southern District. So according to what he's saying right now, the person who was selected to be on the board of NDDC is not currently from the oil-producing area within the states, within that region. Secondly, they're saying that he refused to join the APC party when others did during the election. He was disparaging the personality of the president and of the governor, Senator Basi Otu, and today he wants to benefit from those he's saying all sorts of things against. So according to what he said, monkey they work, baboon they chop. So what are your thoughts on it? Because this is pretty trending. Although some of the other board members in their various states were jubilating, many people were jubilating within their states. But in this one in particular, in Cross River State, many of the youths had come together to protest the selection of this person. What are your thoughts on this? Let me start with you, Tako, because I know you're following the story.
Yeah, I took the story, and the board, NDDC board, is always a controversial selection process. Whenever they are picking anybody, even the staffing, even the recruitment of the NDDC itself and the head of NDDC is always controversial, because the job of NDDC is to bring development to Niger Delta, and it was born out of the several years of protest based on the neglect of that region to enjoy dividends of what they believe their region is contributing to Nigeria, which is seemingly a fact. Yeah. Nigeria entirely lives off crude oil, and it is made from this area. So any appointment within NDDC should be tied to the locations where the opportunities of wealth, crude oil, comes from. Other states that rejoiced did not rejoice because they knew the appointment was a fit. In this particular case, I think that it was okay to protest. I'm a total believer in protest, because Nigeria responds best to, we don't respond to sending mail or writing letter. Nigeria government and Nigerian system responds to you protesting, and I'm hoping that they get listened to. The issues are clear. The NDDC is not just personal opinion. It's not just for bringing development. NDDC is a money... NDDC, when you enter NDDC, your life has changed. And we can go and check the last set of people that are on the board of NDDC. Their life changed. You know, when you see people that they used to have one car, now they have 15 cars, their lives have changed. So we want, people here now say that if the life is going to be better, it should be for someone that, and the man was clear, see the way he said it. He said, if this appointment will benefit 10,000 APC youths, this juicy appointment, so it's a money thing. And when money is involved, we should give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and to God what belongs to God.
Miriam, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so we know of the impression that NDDC, can change lives, but I've seen it also as a place where corruption happens, and I'm hoping that this new board would mean that they'll concentrate on what's important, and that's pushing the development of that area. I do not know what the requirements are or what the process for of getting someone on the board of NDDC, but I'm hoping it's because they're looking at people who have the interest of the communities at heart, who understand how, the sort of development that is needed, who have shown previously by experience, qualification, or in some way that they can, make sure that development comes to that area. I know that many appointments are also made on party level for what you've done for the party, and we have talked about it many times. And I also believe that if you have been someone that has played a part in a party, in pushing the agenda of a party, when it's time to be involved, get some appointments like that, they should be first considered, but not above someone who may be better qualified. Right. So we need to find out if this person has no qualification at all, or if there are people from the community itself who are better qualified. And then if that's the case, how was the presidency able to make that appointment without, sitting with stakeholders or those that would know better about who to represent people of Cross River at the NDDC?
Okay, so... okay, I'll come to you in a second, but let me get you your thoughts right, because I'm told our guest is here now, but let me just get your thoughts if I talk to the guest.
Okay,
go ahead.
Quite a number of people in this area are very upset and feel so bad based on the injustice that they believe has been carried out towards them, especially in previous years. So this is actually touching home for them. And they feel like if anybody should get the appointment, it should be somebody that has an experience of what they're speaking about. And it's important also in this case to put a square peg in a square hole.
Let me bring in our guest, Barrister Ekpeyong Akiba. He's the coordinator, concerned APC Youth Support Groups, Cross River State. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us this morning. Barrister Ekpeyong, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning.
Morning.
It's my pleasure to be with you.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Let me let you add your 2 cents to the conversation.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm right now, as a background, concerned about the rising unrest in the region was the reason why the board of NDDC came into existence sometime in 2000 under the leadership of the then president, Olusegun Obasanjo, and that was to cushion the hardship of the region in which we expected development to be assessed by youth of the region, infrastructure to be developed. And along the line, sometime in 2008, under Diehard as president, a ministry was formed. Now, for us, the recent appointment has not only made us unhappy for some days now as a state, but it also made us to ask questions, because we know our president to be a president that knows the law. We know our president that preaches the law. As the president who preaches the law, we expect the president, beyond preaching the law, to also practice the law. We are very unhappy because the provisions of the act that brought the NDDC into existence state clearly who should be a member of the board of NDDC. Okay. And it also made it very express, because in law, express mention of one thing is to the exclusion of that not mentioned. When the law mentioned that a nominee into the board of NDDC must be from an indigenous of an oil-producing area. Area is different from state. Area is the particularization of a place. In Cross River State, the statute went ahead to define where is the area. In Cross River State particularly, the local government that has oil is Bakassi local government. Don't forget that Bakassi was seated without ratification. Don't forget that we lost our oil waste as a state. As we sit, a Tung local government where Asu Okang hails from, beyond not being an APC cardinal member, is not an oil-producing area, because the area of Bakassi covers only the southern senatorial district of the state. for Asu Okang to be considered. For us, it's not only a slap to us as APC, because he never even gave us any support. He fought against the survival of the party and attacked youths across the state. For him to emerge means the presidency is not aware, because we know the president promised us to give to who that work what is his due. That's why we said when a monkey walks, a monkey should chop.
Right.
Beyond the fact that Asu Okang is of the PDP, we are also aware that when it is time to nominate somebody to the board of NDDC, consultations must be made, because we have a governor in the state. Our governor should not be undermined. Our governor should be given his due recognition. As a state, we don't want our state to be used as a settlement area for whoever that had betrayed his party in PDP to do whatever for APC. Anybody that betrayed his party should look for his own settlement ground in his own place, not in our state. So we are still up the NDDC Secretariat. Protest has been on day by day. There is no more NDDC in Cross River State until an appointment is made in recognition of what the law says. Even judicial precedents are there. In the case of Inakudu versus Adeleke in 2007, in the case of Abacha versus Federal Republic of Nigeria, whereas the law of the statute mentioned in an oil-producing area must produce a member of the board. Why are you bringing somebody that is not from the area? Are you saying that those that are suffering the disaster of oil should not enjoy? So we are calling on the president to reverse that decision. Until it is done, we don't want anything to be done elsewhere in Cross River State. That's right.
Wow. Okay, so I wanted to ask about the appointment this person appointed. Who do you believe suggested this appointment? Who do you think the president would have consulted with? Obviously, the president would have people that would have advised pick this person. Who do you suspect was the one that nominated this particular person from your region?
Well, for us, we believe that there are some PDP mass cabal members who are around the presidency. The president is not aware, but we are suspecting those who are in PDP who are now dancing in APC. We don't want to conclude. We are suspecting the likes of the former governor of Rivers State, because the NDDC is in the region, and we are also suspecting that in line with his efforts to begin to settle those that work for him underground, he now wants to begin to make use of possible areas.
Okay.
To speak today, we are seeing Tribunal having won election in 15 local government out of 18. The PDP governorship candidate Sandy Ono is still in the court. The man Asu Okang is his aide. He worked with him throughout the elections. How do you now reward your position? In the height of this hunger, in the height of seeking palliative, in the height of fuel subsidy, in the height of unemployment, in the height of insecurity. So in Cross River State, we have alerted all the security agencies that until this is done, we will not rest. We'll continue to cry. Women are crying, youth are crying, traditional leaders are speaking. All of us in the state say no. We don't have a problem with the president making appointments, but where the law has clearly stated, because if this is taken to the court, it will be decided against the presidency.
Okay, so
because the provision is clear.
All right, so if there are legal channels, definitely, I'm sure that will be encouraged. However, for a president who has also selected a minister from the party, from PDP or a different party, don't you think that, I'm trying to find the right word to use right now.
He's open to parties.
He's opened. So if your president is open to bring out different people from different parties, shouldn't you therefore also, that's he's the leader of your party, be open to accept other people, hoping that indeed they will consider all the various states and local governments?
Let me put this on record. There is nothing wrong about political inclusion, where the president has express powers to make appointments in his cabinet, and if he finds it fit to bring other political parties into his cabinet, there is nothing wrong. But in the case of NDDC board, there is a provision of law that talks about a particular area that should be appointed, because NDDC was a creation arising from disaster, a creation arising from happenings. It was not an ordinary creation. It was a creation that should cushion hardship, a creation that should bring benefit. a creation that should bring development, a creation that should stem militarization. You are aware of kidnapping in our region. A creation that should be able to make us have succor, considering our environmental disaster. So when you now use this kind of creation to now settle or to play politics or bring inclusion, you are not doing well. So for us, we are not against that. The president can appoint anybody from any political party, because Nigeria is one. You're first in Nigeria before you belong to a political party. But when it comes to express position, like the board of Niger Delta, and the law has stated, we have to follow the law. Because when you don't follow the law, that means you're not doing the right thing. Our laws are meant not to be obeyed just for the purposes of being on the papers. It should be put in practice. And this is a call for law to be practicalized by the president.
All right.
Yeah, I feel you make a strong case, really. You know, all the questions I wanted to ask, you've answered it. You know, you've talked about community, you've talked about the law. And so I would just like to find out, is this, this protest or this cause, is it 100% supported by the people of Cross River State, or would you have some internal challenges in pushing this?
Now, if you say 100%, I'm looking for what is more than 100%. Okay. You need to see people in their numbers under the rain. As I speak to you, the governor was able to calm us down yesterday before he left. He said he knows the president is not aware of this action. So for us, without the people of Cross River being behind us, you wouldn't have seen that number from the march from 11/11 in Calabar, for those that know Calabar, up to NDDC office, somewhere around 8 miles. And all the staff, even in the NDDC, were also in sympathy, because they know that when you bring someone that does not feel the pain of the region, of the area, the person will only end up embezzling whatever that comes to his office to his pocket. So for us, it is total rejection. The Cross River State House of Assembly rejects this position. The youth rejects it. The women rejects it. Traditional leaders rejects it. Nobody has come out to say that this appointment is supported. Okay. So for us, it is total rejection. If there's any percentage that is higher than 100%, I would have said so.
Okay, go ahead.
I understand that there's a rejection, but do you have somebody that is prepared that you can put forward and suggest for this appointment?
Our governor is a foremost lawmaker, and he also knows the terrain in totality. All we're asking for, let us to come be dropped. Let the governor be allowed to make a nomination in line with what the law says. Whoever that is appointed or nominated, who is from the oil-producing area, as encapsulated in the provisions of the NDDC Act, we all support. There's no particular person we're looking at. But we're saying that this man that is of the opposition, strong opposition, formidable opposition, very, very prominent opposition, should not be the one to begin to enjoy what should have come to us. So many people that work for the APC are yet to be rewarded. So many, both at the national level, both in the state here. So for us, we are just beginning. The government is fresh. Why reward the opposition first? It is wrong for you to take what belongs to those in the house to those outside.
You've staged a protest in your state. What's the next step? Are you going to Abuja? Are you writing to the president formally? What is the next step?
Now, the governor has given us the assurances that he will carry our message to the presidency. And we trust his capacity and leadership, charisma. So we are waiting to hear from the governor. We are threatened that we will not go home. The governor has asked us to go home, that he was going to take it off from there. We are also making a communique to the National Assembly, because we are aware that beyond nomination, they are supposed to go for screening. And we are calling our representatives in the National Assembly, assuming that this misnomer continues up to National Assembly, should be rejected at that level. So we are taking further steps, and we are consulting even beyond what we are doing.
Thank you very much. Good luck to all you're doing. Thank you so much, Mr. Ekpeyong Akiba, for joining us this morning.
To comment.
Thank you so much for giving us the platform.
All right.
I wanted to comment that NDDC is always embroidered with issues when it comes to their board, even who becomes the chairman. I remember that they had to put a law. There's a law in NDDC code now that the chairman must be done in alphabetical order, so that all the states, there's no, it's for something that's important. The Niger Delta people are not, they won't take things calmly. They will protest. They have fought. They are known for fighting for what they believe is right. And I also feel the Ondo people too have complained. That as well as the government, and I know our president is very responsive. When he hears feedback, he usually acts on it. So I'll be expecting the presidency to also act on the appointment for Ondo State as well as the one for Cross. Don't wait until Ondo State to stage a massive protest. Let us just preempt and ensure that we follow the rule.
My own would be that we know that NDDC has been embroiled in a lot of corruption conversation. I just hope that this time around we'll see the development that would match the contributions that, I mean, the allowances that NDDC gets. We have talked of, we've heard them spend billions of naira, and then you go to these places and they don't have water, they don't have light. It makes no sense, please.
So that was my own worry, that we shouldn't let the sentiments of the situation, because of this, we don't want to remain the status quo. We want things to actually develop.
Yes.
So if perhaps the president is aware of this person, is it that the president knows that this person can actually bring proper dividends to this community? So there are different parts of this conversation. It's nice and safe to stick to one side, but it could.
And they should stage this same protest against inactive members of the NDDC. So if they can protest this much for a new member to be put in from their area, if the person they put in from your area is not working or bringing development, please, all of you too, over 100%, stage protest against them so that they bring the development needed.
Off your mic was from NDDC.
Yes, off your mic. There are always controversies.
NDDC. That's all we can take on today's show this week. Join Veronica and the ladies of Your View on Saturday episode. See you then. Bye for now.